Hi everyone, it's me, Krylios, Team Rayceen Productions co-host and moderator.
And I'm Erin Palmer, Team Rayceen Productions co-host and moderator.
Joining us is Sherri. Welcome.
Thank you.
Hi, Sherri. Thanks so much for being with us. Before we get started talking about your upcoming album, can you tell our viewers a little bit about you and your background and who you are?
Yes. My name is Sherri Curtis, better known by my stage name, Sherri Amoure. I am a multidisciplinary artist. I do a lot. I sing, I dance, I rap, I write my own music, pretty much anything you could think of. I am also the CEO and founder of Sherri Productions production company.
Fabulous. Well, we are so happy to have you here with us today, Sherri, and I'm excited to get into everything about, your music and your album and all the things that you have upcoming. So, let's talk about it. How long have you been performing, and when did you discover your, musical talents?
Yes, I've been performing forever, honestly. I think the earliest I can think back would be first grade. That was the first ever talent show I had. I sang Midnight Train to Georgia by Gladys Knight at Brooklyn Elementary School. And it's like from that point on, I've been singing ever since. And my voice was actually discovered before that. That was just kind of like the showcase to the rest of the world. But me and my dad would always, like go for rides in his car, running errands, had to go to the grocery store or whatever. My dad was really big on Motown music, oldies but goodies. So that's pretty much what I grew up on. I barely listened to anything from my age at that point. So it was this song called Your Love by Larry Graham and Graham Central Station. And my dad used to sing Larry Graham's part, and I used to sing the woman's part all the time. Like, it was never really nothing serious. We will always be singing in the car. But this one day, like, I just kind of felt something in my chest, and I told him, like, I want to sing Your Love. And he kind of just like was irritated with it, honestly, because we listened to it so much. He was like, okay, we're going to sing it one time. I'm not going to play this song anymore. So he sang his part. And when it got to my part, I like literally belted out the lyrics with everything in me to the point where he like pulled over and stopped the car, and he looked at me with tears in his eyes and he was like, go ahead, girl. So I've pretty much been singing ever since.
Awesome.
That's such a good origin story that you just felt compelled to belt out the lyrics as a young person. It's very charming. So can you tell our viewers about your new album, Drama Class?
Yes, my album is going to be coming out on my birthday, May 29th at 12 a.m., no matter where you are. So basically, the title, I came up with it because I feel like throughout the course of my life, my trauma has kind of raised me. And, when we have like trauma and stuff and things we go through as children, it kind of like transfers into our adult lives, and it kind of like shapes and molds us into who we are. And sometimes we don't even like know it until like we end up in therapy or something. Like, my therapist has been connecting little things from my past to like things that I'm going through in the future, and I'm like, oh, I wouldn't have thought that had anything to do with that. So that's basically how I came up with the name. My trauma and the drama that I've been through throughout my whole life has basically molded me into who I am and taught me some things that are bad, that some habits I have to break, and a whole lot of good things as well. When it comes to the album cover, I thought it out like really, really deeply. So every single little detail that you see, from the outfit to the nails to the crystal, kind of everything is like purposeful. You know how people say like, oh, I'm in my villain era? I've been such a people pleaser all my life. And it's like, I went through an experience that just kind of like shut that down. And I'm kind of like at the point where I'm just kind of like focused on me. So in my villain era or whatever. So I kind of wanted to look like a Marvel super villain.
Ah.
It's beautiful.
I love it.
Yeah.
Sherri, tell me, how many songs are on the album, and what can people hear on the album? What kind of stories are you telling and putting out there, connecting with people?
Yes, there are 13 songs on the album. The genres is kind of mixed. Like, I'm not really an artist that you can kind of box into one genre, like mainly R&B, but like I said earlier, I do rap as well. So it's kind of like an R&B hip hop kind of mix. As far as the songs and the story that they tell, this whole album is basically about my spiritual journey and recovery from a narcissistic abuse relationship that I got out of last year. And basically, when you listen to it in the ordering of the songs, you'll hear how it goes from being like very broken and very hurt, not really understanding, to kind of, gearing out of that and, moving on and growing and learning.
Beautiful, beautiful. I'm sure so many will, connect with those stories, and, especially hearing it from you, and, giving this wonderful new voice in that R&B space and in that rap space. So that's really, really, really exciting. And I know that you also have something that you mentioned earlier, and that is you being the CEO and founder of Sherri Production. So let our viewers know all about Sherri Productions.
Yes. So other than being an artist, I have always been big into film. I started out by taking mass media in high school at McKinley Tech. And I really like grew a deep and profound love for the whole production process while I was there, specifically post-production. Love it so, so much. But again, everything from the shooting to the planning, I just loved it all. So I decided to continue my education, and I got my bachelor's degree from the Los Angeles Film School. And in 2019, I graduated, but I started Sherri Productions in 2018. And I want to say I was about 19 years old. I didn't know much about starting a company. I just knew that I wanted to shoot videos for myself, for other people, other artists. I just love to do it. So kind of gearing into 2019, I had just got the ball rolling, like trying to build up my client list and everything. And then boom, COVID just kind of like knocked everything down. And of course, like there was no shooting going on. There was like nothing. Like it was just total lockdown. It wasn't much that could be done. So last year, 2020, 2021, I moved to Los Angeles to try to like get back into it. But of course, at that time, like COVID was still kind of bad. So everything wasn't really open up in the time that I was there. And then by the end of 2021, I ended up having to come back home because of the whole relationship situation. So 2022 was kind of just like recovery. So now I'm like getting back into it, where I am seeking to just like grow my clientele and, make the company bigger than what it is. I cut a lot of my own stuff, like shooting, editing, like planning, pretty much anything. I love doing creative videos. That's kind of like the focus of the company. So music videos, promotions, things of that nature, commercials, documentaries, whatever.
It's really cool. So you produce music videos, and you were starting to list some other examples. What's maybe like the most unique project that you've worked on in terms of your production company?
The most unique project, I would definitely say it would be a music video from an artist that I work with by the name of Lust. It was very, very different for me. It kind of took me out of my comfort zone, but I love that though. Like I like when clients come to me. She kind of really didn't know what she wanted to do fully. So she kind of like pretty much gave me creative control. And I love that because it's just kind of like, oh, you want me to show off? I want to do that. So yeah, I just kind of took what she had given me and just like, we made it happen. And it turned out like really, really dope.
Cool. It's very creative. Can you tell our viewers about your listening party and how they can hear and buy and support your music?
Yes, my trauma class listening party will be held on May 28th from 9 p.m. to 11. And it's just going to kind of be a sit down conversation at first, just kind of explaining what we explained in the beginning about the title and the meaning behind the songs. And then it's going to gear into a performance. So I'm going to be performing about 5 of the songs off of the album, and I'm just going to be allowing listeners to listen through the rest of the songs. And everything will come out at 12 a.m. and be available for people to download, stream, whatever.
That's really great. Sherri, how can people stay in touch with you? Tell us about, your contact information, how folks can follow you and keep up with what you're doing in the various projects that you're working on.
Yes. As far as keeping up, the best place to go is sherryentertainment.com. You're going to find everything there, from like press to events to new music, videos, everything. As far as where you can find me and how you can connect, if you search Sherri Amoure on anything, you'll be able to find me. It'll pop up. So you want to make sure you spell it Sherri with the I and Amoure with the E on the end.
Don't forget it, Amoure with an E. I love it. Sherri, thank you so much for joining us today. Viewers, you can look in the description below for links so you can keep up with everything that Sherri Amoure has got going on. Sherri, so beautiful, so wonderful. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, guys.
To those watching, please follow Team Rayceen on social media.
And click around our YouTube channel and check out our other interviews, vlogs, forums, and more. And while you're there, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. But most of all, viewers, thank you for watching.